My name is Michelle Houston, and I'm resilient. I am a Black woman with brown hair, medium brown skin, wearing a pink dress. I had gone into my kitchen to take a phone call, and after that phone call, I remember feeling a loud pop in my head, and then I literally saw stars. My son, who then was 7 years old, he was sitting on the couch.
When I saw my mom that day, I was terrified to say the least. She was clutching her head on the couch as if she had a headache, but obviously to me, this is no ordinary headache. I had seen my mom battle through the sinuses and the migraines and power through it and continue to get stuff done, but when I heard her tell me, she told me
If anything happens, call 911. And then I saw the tears coming down his face, and I knew I had to do something immediately.
I didn't know what to think at that moment. I was scared. I felt helpless, powerless to do anything to help her.
So I called my neighbor, and actually 2 neighbors came, and they took me to the local hospital, which was pretty much around the corner. And that's when I was there for a while in the waiting area because I neglected to tell them that I heard a pop, because they probably would have triaged me. So I waited there, and then I was taken into an exam room, and the doctor comes in, and asks me, my symptoms, and I told him I had, headache, bad headache. Still didn't mention the pop. He gave me a shot of Demerol as if, he was treating me for a migraine. So I laid there for a while. He came back in. He said, "So how are you feeling?" I said, "I feel a little better." And he said, "Okay, we're sending you home." And I said, "But how come when I massage my temples, it's extremely tender?" And he said, "We're doing a CAT scan." And I remember there being a lot of people in the room. And all of a sudden, there was this applause. And I didn't understand it at the time, but they had found where the bleed was. And so that's how I knew, or how they found the bleed, that I had that aneurysm. The day it happened, I was living in Philadelphia. I took a job with the city of Philadelphia, 1st Judicial District of Pennsylvania, as an official court reporter. And so I went home that day, which was about a 45-minute hour drive. Thank goodness it didn't happen while I was driving. I had never heard of an aneurysm. I didn't know what was going on. I just know that when they were preparing me for surgery, they go in and they clip it with a titanium clip. And then the doctor was telling me what my chances were, which were 60-40. And I'm thinking, like, wow, 60-40. And he also said that of the 60% who survive, 70% have neurological deficits. And I'm hearing him say all of this. It's not registering at the time, but all I know is in my mind, I said, it's not my time yet. I have a lot more living to do. When I woke up, and of course I had that, I made it, I'm alive, I'm here, but just seeing all the tubes and the blood draining and everything going on, it was a lot because, I think I'm pretty active, but, I'm there in that bed with, all the machines and everything going on. I knew it wasn't going to be anything like quick, like I would be released, quickly. Um, one of the neurosurgeons did tell me that, even though, I had, I came through the surgery okay, I wasn't still out of the woods, he said, because I could have a vasospasm, which is a stroke. And so, you know, initially I was feeling excited, but then when he said that, I was like, okay. And I think he told me like 2 weeks, like they had to watch me, and yeah.
How did the experience change your outlook on life? I'm sure that it has had an impact on you, on what your, thought process of what life looks like from this point on or that point on.
I, being glad to be alive and having gotten through something like that, I have a very positive outlook on life. I look at the glass as half full instead of half empty. I try not to to think too much about things that have happened in the past, and I, I just look at the bright side of everything and just try not to let anything bother me or stress me out, because it's not worth it, because tomorrow's not promised.
What did you rely on to get through this life-changing event?
God, prayer, my church family, they were very instrumental and very helpful and very supportive. Um, and my aunt, who helped raise me, she was very supportive. And just the fact that at almost 80 years old, she would take New Jersey Transit and come over to Philadelphia to see me, which a lot of people wouldn't do.
Has this experience changed your priorities or your goals?
I think instead of thinking about or dreaming about doing things, I think I'm more apt to just go ahead and, kind of fly by the seat of my pants kind of thing. Like, let me try this. Let me, try that. For example, I just did a triathlon this past Sunday. I love to swim, and I do all three disciplines. I've done them all my life, just not competitively. But because this particular triathlon was in a pool, because I don't really think I could do open water, but still challenging. The fact that I did it, I didn't finish first, I didn't finish last, but I finished, and that was quite an experience, and I was very proud of myself. As I said earlier, it was that you feeling of euphoria. I survived, I got through this, and obviously after, you have surgery like that, you're getting a lot of attention, for medical reasons, and, friends and family, call and check on you, make sure you're okay. I'm here for a purpose. There's a reason I'm still here, um, to spread the word, to spread awareness.
I do enjoy going walking and hiking with her, even if she does leave me in the dust when we do.
To go back to Philadelphia, where I lived before I came here, and to run a triathlon, and then have the opportunity to take a picture with my medal in front of City Hall, one of the courthouses that I used to work at. It was a good feeling. And also, I just so happened to be the first black two-time brain aneurysm survivor. That's a brain teaser.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. My name is Michelle Houston, and I'm resilient.